Namaste, everyone. Welcome back. I am Ashley Turner, yoga meditation instructor for over 18 years and licensed psychotherapist. Today, we are talking about the vagus nerve or vagal nerve tone. So you've probably heard about this through, if you've been tuned into Mind Body Circles for very long. This is a real cutting edge, leading edge scientific point in the brain body connection. So the vagal nerve is also known as the wandering nerve, and it's the longest cranial nerve. It extends from the brain stem. So if you put your hand on the back of your head, you'll feel right where the brain stem is. From your brain stem down through into the abdomen. So it connects to multiple organs, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys. It also affects the neck, the ears, the tongue, all the way down through the spleen, the fertility organs, the pancreas. So the vagal nerve works as sort of the super highway of information from the brain into the body, and then the body upstream back into the brain. So the body's sensations that it's informing to the brain. What's interesting is that in recent years, there's been much more scientific research done on the vagus nerve and its effect in the yoga practice. So today we're going to talk about why you should consider toning your vagus nerve, and you probably already are if you're doing yoga meditation, and ways to do it. So number one is this: toning the vagal nerve decreases stress. It really trains the body and the parasympathetic nervous system to slow down and move into that rest and digest. That's the message, that when the nerve is toned, when it's strengthened, when there's a lot of easeful flow in this center or in this superhighway, it helps the body maintain that calm, cool, and collected. So number two, it helps us naturally deepen our breath. It helps us build diaphragmatic breathing. Now, we can also use diaphragmatic breathing to strengthen vagal nerve tone. So the deep ujjayi breathing in our practice is going to help us to tone the vagal nerve. The moment that you tone the nerve, your body naturally responds with a bigger in-out breath. One of the most direct effects of strengthening the vagal nerve is that it lowers our heart rate. Again, it starts to shift the body into this calm, cool, collected, rest and digest response. Number four, it also opens up our emotional capacity and just our sensitivity in general. So a feeling of being grounded, a feeling of being lighter. And then along with lowering our heart rate, it helps to increase the circulation in the body. So these are some of the primary physiological effects. And then there's a whole other host of chronic effects on the pranic body and the emotional body, as we mentioned, toning, slowing down the nervous system. So here are some simple ways for you to tone your vagus nerve. Number one, deep breathing, which we already mentioned. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. So important. This is one of the best, most important things you can do during your day. Insert a moment of pause. Take 3 to 5 long, slow, deep belly breaths. So you really feel the breath, the belly expanding when you breathe. Number two, CatCow. As I mentioned, the vagus nerve is called the wandering nerve because it moves through most of the torso and the inner organs. So that CatCow movement is going to help that flexion and extension of the vagal nerve and starting to tone it. Also, chanting. So what's interesting about chanting, and I have a live training coming up specifically on mantra, bhakti, and nada yoga, the yoga of sound and sound healing. What's interesting about chanting, and we talk about this in the neuroscience of chanting, is that as soon as you start chanting, whether it's a mantra or kirtan with a melody and harmonium, or just yourself in your own, meditation practice, you automatically start pulsating that breath. So you're automatically doing pranayama when you start chanting. So chanting is very effective also to tone the vagal nerve. And laughing, big belly laughs. I mentioned on Instagram a little while ago that my father was recently diagnosed with cancer. And one of the things that I found so fascinating is several of his doctors recommended watching comedies. Because comedies, and when you're laughing, of course, you're increasing that circulation, you're increasing blood flow, and you're actually tonifying diaphragm. You get those deep belly breaths, and strengthens the vagal nerve tone. So CatCow, deep breathing, chanting, big belly laughs, and also splashing water on your face, just sort of that flush of fresh energy, cold water particularly on your face. So I, in the morning, every morning, one of the first things I do is called eye washing, and it's taking cool water and splashing it in your eyes. You cup it in your palms, and then, flutter your eyelids back and forth, and it flushes out the ama, the excess film that accumulates over the eyeballs at night, but it's also waking up the whole system. So really good to tone your vagus nerve in the morning, to reset your nervous system. Your body has been, flushing out the toxins and stresses of the day before overnight. So take a few minutes every morning, do a few of these practices, chant out loud, just a few cat-cows, deep breathing, meditation, big belly laughs, and some cold water on your face. That's going to help you tone your vagal nerve. You're getting a lot of this in your asana practice and meditation, but I just wanted to give you a little science around how this is helping your general health, and specifically your nervous system, keeping it calm, reducing anxiety, reducing that imprint, that wiring of anxiety. You're really rewiring your parasympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system. All right. Thank you so much. Please leave your questions below. I want to hear from you. What is the number one way that you use to reduce stress immediately? Is there one tool that's your go-to? Put it in the comments below. Tag anyone that you think might like this. Please like this, share this if you found it helpful. Really here to just spread the word and build this community. So grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste.